very clear, 16 rounds a day. And chanting Hare Krishna isn't mechanical. It's actually a prayer to Krishna. And one might think that Krishna is distant or unavailable, but Gajendra says in his prayers, only Krishna can deliver us from this material existence. Indeed, he's always trying to deliver us. He is within our hearts and is not at all inattentive. His only aim is to deliver us from material life. It is not that he becomes attentive to us only when we offer prayers to him. Even before we offer our prayers, he incessantly tries to deliver us. He is never lazy in regard to our deliverance. That's Srila Prabhupada's paraphrase of one of Gajendra's prayers. So it's an important point to remember that we already have a relationship with Krishna, and it's very personal. One other point from the Brihat Bhagavatamrita, Sanatana Goswami describes how when Gopakumar went back to the spiritual world, he had the following revelation. Sanatana Goswami writes, Gopakumar was already aware, at least theoretically, that Krishna is very affectionate to his helpless devotees. But now he learned that Krishna had affection specifically for him. Merely seeing Krishna was enough to utterly enchant Gopakumar, but this new discovery pushed him toward the limit of ecstasy. And in this little piece I was writing yesterday and this morning, I was thinking about how ignorance of Krishna or being cynical of the idea that there is a God in the first place is something Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita in the verse Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha. And that there's, in the direct process of worshiping Krishna called bhakti yoga or devotional service, especially japa, there's a revelation that Krishna is directly attentive to me. Not only that, he has very specific affection for me, not just general affection for all living entities, but there's a direct and specific relationship that he has with me and I with him. And that's one of the reasons that japa is so important, is because we have to take the initiative individually to develop the attitudes to reach out to him. And as Gajendra says, he's already there. He's waiting for us. What do you think? Any reflection? Yeah.
Thank you so much for this meditation. Just yesterday I was hearing from a book by Bhaktitirtha Swami Maharaj, The Spiritual Warrior number 4. And there he was mentioning the exact same point. He was mentioning that that anxiety or fear comes from the lack of understanding that Krishna is there. So the moment devotee knows Krishna is there, he is freed from fear. So thank you for bringing that point.
Thank you. Unamas? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for your meditation. And for me, right now, I feel like I'm eager to start experiencing. So don't waste my time. So let's try it. Yes, let's try it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, let's try then. Hare Krishna. Just a few minutes to close the session. And why do you think we chant so many mantras? And do you have any realizations from your chanting this morning that you'd like to share? Yes. Microphones.
Hare Krishna. To answer the first question, I don't actually know, but my guess would be to keep bringing us back into it, especially with the Maha Mantra. I had an experience this morning of transcendental anxiety, couldn't find my bead bag, and that separation made the chanting this morning even sweeter. And so when it brings us back to Krishna in that way, you start to experience a little bit of, I forget his name, but the Swami who'd said, I wish I had 1,000 ears and 1,000 mouths.
Rupa Goswami.
Thank you. Yeah, Rupa Goswami. And I haven't gotten there yet, but it's that beauty of the separation and then having more ways to reach out to him. The mantras are our direct line. It's his phone number, really. So, and then to share a reflection I had. I was reflecting on a lecture you had given back during Ratha Yatra in LA on the 13th chapter of the Madhya Lila. And when Krishna is in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing in front of Lord Jagannath, it's Lord Jagannath's pleasure at seeing Srimati Radharani's mood, and then also Lord Chaitanya's pleasure of the ecstasy in being in the presence of Lord Jagannath. It's, when we're fully in devotional service and we're fully in that pure devotional stage, that love of Krishna that we feel, it was reflected in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a way that Lord Jagannath could feel directly as his foremost devotee. And even then, to protect him in his ecstasy, his disciples were around him, protecting him. They formed a circle around him. They even slapped the king's attendant. And it's that level of mercy they can give in that service to protect his Sangha. And so I had that realization.
Thank you, thank you. Come on.
Hare Krishna. When we try ourselves to find out what is good for us, there are thousands and millions of ways one can get lost in finding what is good. So we are really grateful to Srila Prabhupada, who has made our life a little simpler in that sense, a simple Mahamantra, and just chant it, and then you will go back to Godhead. I think this is the sweetest and simplest path. That all the anxiety which we had to take to find out what is right recipe for us, I think he has already provided us. Now it is up to us to take it seriously.
Thank you. And one last question. What verse from Divinity and Divine Service most defines the realization that anybody expressed this morning or that you had in your chanting? I'd say Radhakripa Prabhu's would be something like Tasmad Ekena Manasa Bhagavan Sattvatam Pati. Someone suggest one more. That's the same verse. Say another verse that relates to your realization about japa. But hurry up because we only have like 2 minutes. You got to use the mic, otherwise we can't hear you. State your case.
Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.4 Apanna samsmritim ghoram yannama vivasha grinan tata saddaya vimuchyata yad viveti swayam bhayam. So there's a lot of fear and anxiety in this world, but when a conditioned soul takes the name of the Lord, even vivasha grinan, like even in a not fully conscious state, but immediately he is freed from the fear, which is, the name is feared by fear personified.
Jai. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Panchatattva, if you so desire, please empower us to take shelter of the holy names as our main focus. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer in whole or in part. Please unmute and say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. patitanam